Arguably every waking moment of every day is spent communicating, whether it be verbally or nonverbally. Nonverbal communication is defined as the non-linguistic behaviors unconsciously or consciously encoded or decoded via multiple communication channels. This quote comes from Stella Ting Toomey in her book, Communicating Across Cultures. Nonverbal communication includes body language, eye contact, vocalizations such as vocal sounds and vocal noises like laughing, belching, or groaning, voice qualifications like pitch and tempo, personal space, gestures, and more. Communication becomes challenging across cultures. There are verbal barriers of language and accent. There are also very many nonverbal barriers as well. For example, my cousins are from Germany, and they came to stay with us one summer. One night they were here, they prepared dinner for us. However, they were displeased when all of the food wasn't gone after the meal. Concerned by this, I asked my cousin what was wrong. She explained to me that in Germany, it is customary to finish all of the food that is prepared after a meal. However, no feelings were hurt by this small ordeal. Imagine the possibilities of insulting others and damaging relationships while traveling or conducting business internationally. Nonverbal communication varies by culture. Violating cultural customs can have damaging effects on relationships. To highlight some of these examples, I'm going to use aspects of the South African culture. Eye contact is an important way in demonstrating attentiveness to peers, family members, professors, and elders. However, in South Africa, it is deemed disrespectful to look someone of higher status than you directly in the eye. This is enforced and practiced throughout the region, but especially in the rural and remote communities. This causes non-native employers to view their employees taking part in this behavior as trying to hide something from them. This causes a rift in interactions and causes conflict in the workplace. The South African culture also practices a variety of traditional behaviors involving sitting and standing. For example, young people do not remain standing in a group of elders. Instead, they sit. This is contrary to our culture, where we are taught to give up our seat to an elder if no more are open in the room. The South African culture also emphasizes that people must sit before engaging in conversation. Cynthia Denilse Ntuli, a professor at the University of South Africa, performed a case study where an American boy moved to South Africa. After class one day, he went over to his classmate's house. His classmate's mother welcomed him into their home. However, he did not sit before engaging in conversation with her. This led the mom to feel disrespected and the boy to be unknown of his actions. The South African culture also participates in a variety of traditional gestures. For example, pointing a finger at someone in South Africa is considered a huge sign of disrespect. This is another example Cynthia Denilse Ntuli uses in her case study. She found that pointing a finger at someone brings about a strong negative reaction from the victim and the onlookers. Another example of gestures in South Africa involved the taking and receiving of something. For example, people must take or receive something from someone else with both hands or with the right hand only, never with just the left hand. During conversation, it is unacceptable for children to put their hands in their pockets. They view this as rude and disrespectful. It is also unacceptable to hug someone or to kiss someone on the cheek as a form of greeting. The South African culture views this as far too intimate for strangers or acquaintances to be taking part in. This is contrary to many other cultures, where hugging someone or kissing someone on the cheek is a common form of greeting. As humans, we have been participating and actively learning nonverbal communication since infancy. Stella Ting Toomey says, "We learn first via nonverbal movements before mastering linguistic code." This is essential to understanding and interpreting communication as a whole, especially when put into an intercultural or international situation. It is essential to know and actively participate in other cultures' nonverbal behaviors. It is especially important to know this when traveling or conducting business. Without such knowledge, one puts himself at a risk of embarrassment, insulting their colleagues, and damaging relationships. In the development of the human species, nonverbal actions predated language. This quote from Stella Ting Toomey embodies the utter importance of nonverbal communication. As it came before verbal communication, we would only have half of the story without it.